right. Hey, everyone. David Coe here with the Co Real Estate Group. Hey, we have a lot of people that ask us questions about downsizing their home, and it can be so overwhelming to leave a home that you've lived in for a long time. So today, I have a very special treat for you. I brought in my good friend, Dr. Regina Lark, who specializes in helping people declutter and downsize. And I think she's such an expert on this area. So, Regina, thank you for spending a few moments with us today.
Thanks for inviting me, David. Anything. It's
You got
great.
it. So give us a little bit of introduction, like what you do and what your company does.
Okay. So we're based in a company is called A Clear Path. We cover Los Angeles and Orange County. I've got a number of employees, an operations manager, an account manager, and we're tasked with helping people dismantle their estates. Or we do a lot of senior move management. We're very involved in the move management space, and we're working with families to help them dismantle the stuff from the home to get it ready for sale. Basically, that is our book of business, David.
Well, we have worked on a few projects together, and
Sure.
one of the things I love about both you and honestly your staff is they are so compassionate, right? Like that
Mhm.
judgment-free zone that people have sometimes. They're embarrassed at all the stuff that
Yeah,
they have, and
yeah.
watching you guys handle that part of it has been really impressive when we work together.
Oh, thanks for saying that. We appreciate that because it's not our stuff.
Right,
And
right.
we just want to meet people where they live because people are coming at any project that feels as big as decluttering, big as downsizing, big as moving. I mean, moving is one of the big ones in the top 10 list of stressors. This is like number three. So, so when someone is faced with that or making decisions, maybe they're not even faced with it, they have time to make decisions. They'll look over their shoulder and go, well, what am I going to do with all this stuff? So, the way we approach things at a clear path is we look at stuff. Um, People hold on to things for one of two reasons. One, they think they're going to need it someday. I get that. We all look around. What are you holding on to that you think you may need someday? You're going to come up with a short or a long list. It's totally legitimate that we want to hold on to things we think we may need someday. But here's one of the problems. We're not identifying what does someday have to look like in order for this to be useful to me again.
Got it. So it's just the
Instead,
potential that they might need it, but they don't even have a vision for
there's
needing it.
no there's no date, there's no expire date on that thought.
Right.
But what you do know, or what you think you know, is if you let it go and someday comes and you don't have it, something not good is going to happen. So
Hmm.
you will catastrophize the outcome of the one day, what if, how could I let it go? You will catastrophize the outcome. So you'll hold on to it.
So
And we
is that what
want,
the emotional attachment is? Is that they're catastrophizing this one day
sure,
down the
that's
line
it. You
scenario?
know, one of the reasons why a lot of people have clutter is because they have compromised executive functions. And our executive functions allow us to be emotionally managed, time managed. We think through in a linear way. To do becomes to done. And
Mm.
folks with ADHD or other types of executive function challenges, early onset dementia is really going to wreak havoc on your executive functions. Just as the brain and blood and oxygen changes as we get older, this is why I just put my keys here. It's just our executive functions keeps us on task, on time, every time. So if those parts of our brain are tweaked or compromised for whatever reason, we're going to have a hard time making decisions. We're going to have either an emotional response or a time managed response. I can't move. Look at how much time it'll take me to get all of this done.
Mm.
I can't move because what about all of these things from my past? If I let them go, what does that say about who I am?
Mm. That's
So
interesting.
we tend to either catastrophize the outcome of not having it someday, or we just heap the guilt upon us, we're much more, we feel much more about what is this person going to say? What would this person think? If how do I prove that this happened?
Mm.
As if the proof is a demonstration of something we've done good in life instead of that we made it this far. You know what I mean? We got to put our past into a different perspective. And I always think, well, why is somebody else suggesting that this is important?
So what's the process? How do you do this, right? Like if you're overwhelmed with all of these, like people do it all the time. Like is there a mindset that has to change? Is there a process people implement? How do you help people get past this process?
So the first thing I would do would be to make it, what's the project? Is the project downsize, save a ton of money, go into a smaller space? You don't have that much to, whatever the project is, downsizing or upsizing, but mostly we're seeing a lot of senior move management. Pros and cons.
Mm.
Start making list. Start to get some clarity about the topic. Then make a list of all the areas in your home that you think you're going to need help with in order to declutter and organize for a move. You're going to think about where's the next space, because when we can visualize the next space, it helps the letting go. When you know you've got 600 square feet to get into, and you've been
Mm.
living in 2,500 square feet, it's like pulling the Band-Aid off. No,
It's so funny you said that because we actually have a project where we move someone from a 1,500 square foot into a 600 square foot apartment,
yeah,
right? And until she could see the
yes,
space,
yeah,
she had a really hard time knowing to where to start. But once she kind of knew what she had to get, and she got the big pieces figured out, the
yeah.
smaller stuff just seemed to kind of come into
Yeah,
play,
yeah. Yeah, the visual is important. And we are moving people into assisted living communities and 55 and over communities. And there's only so many square feet for a couch.
right?
And so once you get that visual of where you're going, you begin to look at your stuff in a different way. And there are all manner of ways to move it forward, to pay it forward. Like in our company, we do online estate sale auctions, but folks can do their own. It's a great platform called Max Sold if you want to put that into your show notes. And also, there are, you can have estate sales. But I also, if you have a lot of clutter, doing a yard sale is going to be really challenging because I'm sure you have major time management issues, you know. And I don't say that in a sarcastic way at all, and I hope your listeners know that. Doing a yard sale just takes a lot of steps in a particular order, and folks with executive function challenges have a hard time with that ordering. So you hire professionals to get this job done in a thoughtful and productive way so that you're saving time and money. Um, I'm giving a talk on delegating, and people who don't delegate, uh, they're losing out on the things that they're really good at. They think they can do it faster if they do it themselves, but if you're sitting in a lot of clutter in your home, a lot of memories, however it became that, if you're sitting there with all of that, then your ability to tackle it, you may want to avail yourself to some help.
Well,
And,
I
and
think that's the key part right there, right? Like, you can't do this alone. And I think a
no,
lot of people feel overwhelmed
yeah,
at the scope of what they need to do,
yeah,
but knowing there's resources like a clear path out
yeah,
there. I think another good one is like TaskRabbit, right? If you're looking just for some
absolutely.
small help on a day-to-day basis. And then
Yep.
we also always I mean, look, for Goodwill and
I
Salvation
love
Army are
TaskRabbit.
great
Yeah,
for giving
yeah,
things away, but Habitat Restore, if you've got
yes,
nice pieces of furniture that are big, they'll even come pick it up. You don't
yes,
have
they
to take
will.
it to them.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
love we love the we love the reuse, reduce, recycle. It's let the stuff move forward.
Hmm.
Just
Well, and
let it
that
move
that
forward.
probably helps with the emotional attachment too, right?
And
Like
it
if you
feels,
know your
and
stuff
it
is finding
does.
a second
It,
home or a
it
second
is.
life.
Yeah, we did a big max sold sale for a provisor family in Woodland Hills. The family home was being sold, and one of the member had grown up in the house and knew all the neighbors.
Mhm.
And all the kids were like visiting their parents for the, it was just, and it just created this community weekend for everybody because they had been in and out of this kid's house. This guy was an adult in his early 50s by now.
Mhm.
But when everybody was in their teens, they were always at this house. And so it just engendered so much community and goodwill and great feelings. And, people were buying the stuff and talking about the room, the parties, and all of that. So they were all products of the 70s. So we know what their party, we know. I know.
Guilty. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I think I got two big parts out of this. Number one is having a vision for where you're going can
Yeah,
somehow help you get past that feeling of being overwhelmed.
yeah,
Which, from a real estate standpoint, if you're watching this, we'd love to help you find a place, right? Just finding, even if it's not the place you're going to buy,
yeah,
just having an idea of what it looks like might help you start the process. And then number two, Regina, you got to get help. You can't do this on your
yeah,
own. Find friends, find family, hire professionals like yourself, hire someone to come in and maybe provide that objective third party, like, do you
yep,
really need this or not?
yeah. Or you can lay out the multiple copies you have of a thing,
Right. Just pick one.
and just to see it from a different perspective. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, when after my dad passed away, he had three cherry pitters. Like, do you really need three of them?
Yeah,
Right?
it's a question. At least you ask the question.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, look, if someone wants to find you, we're going to have all your information down
All
here.
right,
You're
great.
one of
Thanks,
our
David.
preferred vendors on our vendor list. So if you're watching this, we hope you found it really, really comforting, right? Almost like you're not
Yeah,
alone.
yeah, good.
People are out there in the same situation. But if you need some help, please let us know. We're here to help. Regina, thank you so much for carving out some time today to join us here.
All right, thanks, David. Have a good
Cool.
rest of the night.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.